everybody. How are you all doing today? Do you all want to read a story with me? I got a real good one today. I got a book here called The Deliciously Tawdry Tales of the Awesomotron 6000. Illustrations and words by James Fuller. And here we turn the page, and of course it says it again. The Deliciously Tawdry Tales of the Awesomotron 6000. Episode 1. Dancing Movie Crashy Groovy. It was a brisk, chilly night, and the cold snaked into my beloved Jack and I's cute but modest house from under the doors and through the not quite thick enough glass windows. It wasn't freezing, but it was cold enough to raise goosebumps on Jack's skin. Goosebumps I couldn't help but notice as I put an arm around him as we danced around our kitchen, listening to music and simply acting downright silly. Currently, we were trying to write our own dance moves to synchronize with our favorite TV ads. I was doing somewhat of a shaky chicken wiggle thing for a toothpaste commercial. Jack had this amazingly endearing, awkward, slow-motion crab walk thing happening. It was for a constipation commercial. I couldn't argue with him. If all the actors did exactly what he was doing, it would have definitely been a much better advertisement. "Dang, dude, you all bumply," claimed regarding his goosebumped skin. "Yeah, it's getting a little brisk in here." "I'll go turn up the heat," he replied. "No need, I think I got a better idea." "Oh dear." "Now wait, don't, really. I got a different idea. Just give me a sec." I hurriedly rushed from the room and out the back door. Jack watched through a door left open by me as a gust of wind blew his hair back, and I disappeared into our garden shed. "Oh dear indeed," he worriedly thought to himself as he closed the door with an arm more goosebumply than ever. Minutes later, I come rushing in the front door, not even seeming to realize I left from the back. I dart into the kitchen with a gigantic smile on my face. "Wait until you see how cool this is." "Dot, I'm so excited you're gonna love it." "Dot, I was gonna wait until Christmas, but gosh darn it, I just can't." "Dot." "What?" "You left the door open." "Oh yeah, oops, let me get that." Jack stands there shaking his head as I go back and close the front door. Back in the kitchen, I walk up to him with eyes sparkling, eyes eager with anticipation as I pull out of my pocket a small black box with one big red button on it. I hold it up for Jack to see. "See, isn't it grand?" Sure, what is it?" "Oh yeah, sorry." I pull out a 2-foot-long extending antenna out from the top of the box and hand it to him. "Okay, so what is it?" he says as he turns it around in his hands, almost taking out my eye with the swooshing antenna. "Push it." "This is gonna make me warmer." "Push it real good." Thinking to himself, fine, whatever, I'm game. Jack pressed down on that big red round button. A faint click is heard, and Jack looks at me wide-eyed, mouth open, palms up. My smile widens and I point up while keeping my eyes fixed on Jack. "Oh shoot, villainy." Jack's face goes white and his eyes become dinner plates. "Kill!" The ceiling caves in above us. Dust and debris cascaded down from where our house sheltered us from the rain and snow. The air instantly becomes a brown-gray cloud the eyes can't pierce. This is horrible. Why would I ever like this? Hold on. Don't be so patient. You can't see it yet. And then, as the dust settled, my present came into view. Episode 2. Got the skills, yo. The first thing to come into view was a rounded dome-like shape, about 7 feet from the floor. This is only because the overhead light from the next room still managed to function, and was casting a sharp, gleaming reflection from the present's metal hull. Next, one could make out that the dome rests atop a broad, boxy shape. Finally, once Jack was able to make out that the boxy shape had 2 metal hoses branching out from its body, he said, "A robot? You made a robot? Don't worry, I had help." "But I'm already freezing, and there's a huge hole in our ceiling. I don't care who helped you. This is... But you don't understand. I had help from aliens, and Atlanteans, and the reincarnated ghost of your cousin Tony. This robot is really good." "Tony's not dead." "Really? Then who the heck was that ghost?" "Oh well, doesn't matter. This robot is still really good." "I'll go get the sleeping bags for the night, and I'll call for pricing on the roof in the morning. Good night, Dot. I don't want to deal with this tonight, and all of a sudden I don't feel like dancing." As Jack said this and began turning away to get the camping gear from the back of the closet, my heart sank. Seeing him sad, especially when we were so happy 10 minutes ago, and double especially when it's all my fault, is always crippling to me, hitting my emotions with the force of a hydrogen bomb. I reached out and put my hand on his shoulder. "No, please, give me 2 minutes. The robot is really good. I promise." "Fine, 2 minutes, but..." "Squeakers, ceiling repair. The all nice and fancy level is set to 3. On the glistening metal dome, 2 large red circles of light suddenly flashed on, and a blast of hot steam erupted from its shoulder areas. Hiss! The steam is warm, and the sound is quieter than one would expect. Squeakers? Its actual name is the Awesomotron 6000 model type 814-7T Vallejo II. But that's kinda long, so he needed a nickname. Figured Squeakers was cute, don't you think? The robot then turned into a Tasmanian devil style of whirlwind, spinning in place and darting from one place to another so fast you couldn't even see what he was or what was going on. The entire rubble-filled hole in our kitchen became a big, ever-shifting blur. Oddly, the only noise one could hear became the steam vent's hiss as it raged in pitch and dwindled in volume. Within seconds, it was over. As soon as the steam was too soft to hear, the task was completed. I picked up our half-drink tea off the counter, topped it off, and handed it to a stupefied Jack. I told you it's a really good robot. Ain't you, Squeakers? You're a good boy. The robot stiffened up and drew his shoulders back visibly, proud of pleasing me, much akin to that of a dog. Wow, that's actually pretty amazing. I knew once Jack saw what Squeakers could do, I knew he would be impressed. The former hole in our ceiling was now a skylight that rose a good 5 feet from our previous ceiling. This was to make room for the hanging gardens that hung from the walls of the skylight, each overflowing with a cornucopia of beautiful exotic flowers and plants. There was an auto watering system built in as well, as we could feel the impossibly light spray of its mistress. The glass itself was large clear panes surrounded by small strips of stained glass depictions of the puppet show we loved to watch together. Jack leaned in and gave me a quick peck on the cheek. Sorry I doubted you. This is... wow. What else can I do? He's not an it. Apologies. What else can Squeakers do? That's just it. He's really really good robot. He can do anything. I wasn't exaggerating. Squeakers could do literally anything. He was designed to be able to manipulate time, space, energy, consciousness, everything. We had used a Clorxian patootie processing chip in Squeakers' bang board. It was marketed as runs 4 times faster than any leading deity, over 180 swittillion more functions, sleeker, more hip design, and it even comes in 5 bright colors that say, hey. Basically, he's a kick-butt robot. Anything you say. Squeakers, can I get a glass of sparkling cider and a chocolate-dipped strawberry? By the time Jack had finished the sentence, there was Squeakers at his side, white cloth draped over forearm, to present him with both a red and white cider, in which to be approved of, and a third arm grasping a silver serving tray, not only with pre-coated strawberries, but also with a fondue pot brimming with hot melted chocolate, accompanied by a skewered ruby red bear version of the fruit. Oh, Dot, I think I'm gonna like Squeakers a lot. Somehow you could just tell this made the metal man very happy indeed. Episode 3. Jack's uncle does not appear in this episode. The following few weeks were one outlandish act of decadence after another outlandish act, as Jack and I found the myriad of things this new robot could do. We watched some pop band perform from front row seats at a TV show taping. We spanked all the evil men who started all the wars and told them to quit it. Weighed a whale, then had a whale eat us. This was hard to convince Jack to do, but when the whale said please and gave him the puppy dog eyes, he was a lost cause. We cured cancer, the common cold, bad breath, and smelly sink sponges. We flew on the back of a king, grew 100 arms, lived as giants, lived as mice, and rode the planets like bouncy balls. We endlessly thought of new things to do. We even rebuilt our bodies to be in perfect health and shape. We were strutting around looking like 2 supremely toned athletes. Squeakers really was turning out to be the best appliance/pet/deity we had ever got. Oh, dearest honey sweetums, don't thou love traipsing amongst thine Milky Way as if it was a mirroring petals? Not, you're talking weird again. Oops, sorry. It's all the decadence. Brings out old snow dialect. What do you want to do next? I was thinking we could try to see who could hold the sun in their mouth the longest. Pass. Yeah, I know you'd say that. So what are you thinking? I don't know. Something simple, like a quiet night on the couch. Watch some animal documentary on TV or something. I'm exhausted. As usual, before the sentence was even over, there we were, bundled up in our jammies on the couch. The new episode already playing. Squeakers standing proudly out of the way. Don't you think this is a bit too much sometimes, Dot? Ack! Reason! You know I don't like the stuff. I know. I guess I'm just kind of missing the struggle. Not the hard ones, of course, but the little daily ones. Like being frustrated because you don't know what to cook and are getting hungry. Or being angry because you just got lime juice in a paper cut for the 4th time in one night. I mean, I would almost be happy to find a pimple on my nose. As soon as he said it, she looked over at Squeakers. Don't even think about it. I know. I get what you're saying. It's weird not having that feeling better emotion anymore. With everything all perfect and infallible all the time, there's not a lot of room for advancement. Ha ha. It wasn't a real laugh, but just the sounding of the syllables. And I gotta be honest, I liked it better if our noses got the occasional pimple myself. We've fixed so much with ourselves, we're starting to look kind of plasticky. I find a human Jack way more attractive than a toy doll any day. I miss kissing your scars, rubbing your belly, watching you shake your perfect Jack Hiney. I miss all the imperfections you felt you had. Those were all the parts of you, and you're the one I fell in love with. Criminy, you're such a cornball. At least I'm still a cornball. True, at least. You know what you're saying, don't you? Afraid I do. Squeakers was looking worriedly over at us. Oh, don't worry, Squeakers. Jack smiled up at him. You're family. You're not going anywhere. I think we have a better plan. I kissed Jack's remade lips one last time, eager to kiss the originals. And then me and Jack lock our hands together. All right, Squeakers. Here's what we want. Episode 4. Wah chicka wah wah. Jack and I are back in our modest kitchen. Everything looks the same as it did before the arrival of Squeakers, with the exception of the skylight. We both look back up at each other and smile, so happy to see our real faces again. Oh goodness, Jack, you look absolutely stunning. He was dressed in his most beat-up sweater, saggy pants, and an old t-shirt once again. Nothing fancy, just comfortable wear. But when I said it, I meant it to the bottom of my heart. Jack made an adorable "ah" noise, and we embraced, holding each other like a long-separated couple or two friends finally reunited. We embraced with the earnest that only a couple married all these decades can. That was some crazy shenanigans. Still think the sun in the mouth game would have been cool. You're a dork, but you're my dork. I love you, Jack. I love you, Dot. As I held him, my mind began to drift to all the things we had done and back into his eyes. I had now seen the cosmos formed, watched as Cleopatra jello wrestled Aphrodite, and saw the blooming of the alien flower species, among countless other things of unbelievable grandeur. Yet here it was, the most beautiful thing in all of creation. There was no comparison. Okay, one of us has to let Squeakers in, because I'm dying to go to our room and head to bed. Dot, could you get his food and let him in while I lock up? Deal. I go to the laundry room and pick up the enormous bag of food, barely able to lift it. I bring it over to a wash tub-sized basin and begin to pour. Then I open up the back door to reveal a huge rhinoceros wearing a big red collar, tags jingling merrily all the while. The rhino charges up to me and gives me a big wet lick up the side of my face. Hey, Squeakers boy, are you a good boy? Yeah, Squeakers is a good boy, I tell him as I scratch around his ears. Okay, Squeakers, gotta go. Eat up. Bedtime? Jack holds out his hand. Yes, please. We walk up our slightly derelict and utterly perfect stairs, holding hands, eager to sleep in our wonderfully lumpy bed. Isn't reading a good book just kind of fantastic? Well, thanks for reading with me today, guys. I hope you have a good rest of your day.